So, what do you think is the single biggest risk to your long-term financial plans? You might think it's a market crash or maybe picking the wrong investment, but the truth is the biggest risk, well, it's probably you. Or, to be more precise, the person you're going to be 10 or 20 years from now. Let me tell you a quick story about a friend of mine. This guy, he came from absolutely nothing, but he was probably the hardest working person I've ever met. His whole life, his dream was to become a doctor. The odds were completely against him, but after a solid decade of just relentless, backbreaking work, he did it. He became a doctor. So a few years later, I see him, and I ask, "How's it going? You're living the dream." And his answer, without even a second of hesitation, "Awful career."
And his story just perfectly nails the core problem we all face with long-term planning, right? We change. The thing you wanted so desperately at 18 might feel like a total prison cell when you're 38.
Now, this experience that almost all of us go through, it actually has a name in psychology. It's called the end of history illusion. Okay, so what is it? We can all look back 10 years and see pretty clearly how much our values, our goals, even our personalities have changed, right? But here's the crazy part. We have this funny habit of thinking that the person we are right now, today, is the final, finished version. We just consistently and massively underestimate how much we're going to evolve in the future. Just think about how this plays out. At 10 years old, maybe your biggest dream is to drive a giant tractor. It seems like the coolest thing in the world. By 18, that dream is morphed into something more serious, like becoming a high-powered lawyer. But then you hit 40, and after years in the trenches, all you might really want is a job with flexible hours so you can actually spend time with your family. We are constantly moving the goalposts because we are constantly changing.
And this is where the illusion gets kind of dangerous, especially for our finances. We risk becoming prisoners of a past version of ourselves.
This is where a nasty little concept called sunk costs comes into play. We anchor our future decisions to all the effort we've already put in. The years in medical school, the money we poured into a specific career path. And because we can't get that time or money back, it becomes incredibly difficult to change course, even when we know, deep down, it's the right move. We're literally letting a stranger, our past self, make huge decisions for the person we are today. This quote from the Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman. This is a superpower. He once talked about how he could spend months working on a chapter for a book, only to delete the entire thing and start from scratch. His reason? I have no sunk costs. That ability to just abandon old plans and goals without mercy is absolutely crucial in a world where you are guaranteed to change. Okay, so if we know for a fact that we're going to change, how in the world do we build a financial plan that can actually survive our own evolution? Well, the key is to build a strategy for endurance. You see, the magic of compounding, whether it's with your money, your career, or even your relationships, it only really works its magic if you can give it years, or even decades, to grow. So the best plan isn't necessarily the one with the highest possible returns. It's the one you can actually stick with long enough to see results, without burning out or giving up. So how do you build that endurance? You avoid extremes. Instead of trying to save 80% of your income and being miserable, or working 100-hour weeks to get a promotion you might not even want in 5 years, you aim for balance. A moderate approach to your money, your job, and your life isn't a compromise. It's actually a really powerful strategy to avoid regret and make sure you can stay in the game for the long haul. All right, now let's make this personal. The best way to really understand this end of history illusion is to see how it's played out in your own life. I'm serious. Take a second and really think about it. A decade ago, what was that one big thing you were working towards? Was it a specific job title? A city you just had to live in? Maybe a certain number in your bank account? Now compare that old goal to what you want today. How different is it? I'm willing to bet that for most of you, the shift is pretty huge. And that right there, that's the clearest proof you'll ever get that the person you were back then is not the person you are now. And guess what? The person you are today won't be the same person in 10 years either. I would genuinely love to hear your stories on this. Head down to the comments and share one of those big dreams that you've since outgrown. It's always so fascinating to see how we all change, and it's a great reminder that we're all going through this same process of evolution together. Hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us make more of these. And I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on, something that really gets to the heart of all this. If your future self is a total stranger, why are you letting your past self make all of their decisions for them? Thanks for watching.